Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah, Perfect Plex Radio. We about to go live on him. Mike Knoxxx. That's with 3 X's cause he's hardcore. Are y'all ready? We about to give y'all something special. You ready? Let's go! At the Monday Night Raw, what you getting in? Perfect Plex Radio, got them listening. Mike Knoxxx, from Cena to The Rock, or whatever wrestler is hot. News and interviews, it's a one-stop shop. Matter of fact, let me give you more choices. You could call in and be the voice with the voiceless. So what you waiting on? Let's get it cracking. Let's talk wrestling, that's enough rapping. Perfect Plex Radio, simply
perfect, people. Welcome to Unpopular Reviews, Entertainment, Wrestling, the Mike Knoxxx Show, Night of Champions, review predictions. The Bloodline has imploded like the mega powers exploded. People, welcome. I am one of your hosts today, this morning actually, Mike Knoxxx. To my left, I have the Z is silent. We got the Grand Poobah and the most angry wrestling fan this side of the Himalaya, the Mississippi, wherever it is you live, the executive consultant himself. But people, again, I am Mike Knoxxx, and today we are going to discuss Night of Champions. What's going on this morning, fellas? Everybody calm?
I'm good. It was a good day of wrestling yesterday. It was a good day of wrestling. Looking for another good day of wrestling today. You know, we only get these weekends. We only get these weeks of wrestling like maybe 4 times a year, to where we could just. It's all wrestling all week, every single day, except for like Thursday. It's the only day there's no wrestling.
Good.
But other than that, there's you have your
Impact's
options.
on Thursdays.
They're on Fridays. Well, yeah, they're on Fridays, and they had their Under Siege as well on Friday. So that, you know, but nobody's checking for that. So,
executive consultant, hold on. Let me get you ready for you load up and ask, how you doing this morning, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
He doesn't sound well.
No, he doesn't sound too pleasant this morning.
He doesn't sound well at all.
Grand Poobah, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm quite fine. I apologize. I had technical difficulties and I was trying to figure it out, but I am quite well. Woke up early so I could talk some professional wrestling. So,
well, I seen it there, and let's talk about professional wrestling, people. Night of Champions yesterday, and it started off with the internet already bitching and complaining, because that's what we do when we get mad, right? We bitch and we complain that this was the leadoff match. And I wonder if people have not only heard me for 13 years, but heard Unpopular Review for 5 years at this point, and say to yourself, how many times have the executive consultant and everybody a part of this network told you Roman Reigns is the main event? Doesn't matter what the title is. Doesn't matter who it is. If Roman is on the card, he's in the main event. So we let off with Night of Champions, and then we go into Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus, the Intercontinental Championship with Gunther and Mustafa Ali. SmackDown Women's Champion. I always get confused because the belt's red. There, and we'll talk about that in a second. SmackDown Women's Champion, Bianca Belair versus Asuka.
Raw Women's Champion.
Raw, Roman, whatever.
You still said it wrong.
Okay.
Raw Women's Champion.
Rhea Ripley versus Natty, which is, if I'm Natty for like the 2nd year in a row, I'll be mad. I kind of went overseas for this. Why they keep doing this to this young lady, I don't understand. Cody and Brock, followed by the main event, as I stated right there, your tribal chief and Solo. When are they going to take the last name off? Because the way Paul Heyman introduced him, they just, could be wrong. Paul Heyman just said Solo yesterday. And then the Undisputed Champions, KO Mania and Sami Zayn. And guys, let's start with the opening match that pissed a lot of people off. You got your... Look at, I'm going to make you wait. Okay. You got the phenomenal AJ Styles taking on and your new champion, Seth Freakin Rollins. Your new champion, as most of us should have expected. Now, we see the back is turned there because I also agree I knew Seth was going to win, but I think it should have been AJ. I said that, especially when they put that little stat up there that I know Chris knew 4 years since he even had a title opportunity. I was like, well, damn, you got to give it to him, right? No, they gave it to the guy who is the number one wrestler not named Roman Reigns in the company. That's Seth freaking Rollins. So I'm going to start with you right there, Mr. AJZ is silent.
Blasphemy. Blasphemy is the only word to describe that. You want to know why they started that? You want to know why they started that match off first?
Well, I know why, because Roman's in the main event.
No, it had absolutely not a good dog damn thing to do with Roman. You want to know why they started off? Because Seth Rollins had to leave for a movie, for a movie shoot. That's why the man had his bag packed and everything. He was ready to go. As soon as he got his belt, I was gone.
That's not the reason why, but that probably took that probably was a nugget on the board.
I'm pretty sure that's probably
Roman still. Either way, this match wasn't going to be last, no matter what.
I thought
we were going out into space.
I thought that it should have. Mm-hmm. I would have actually liked for it to start off with Brock and Cody.
I think it could have done that as well, and it would have been fine. But going into this match, of course, I'm a huge AJ Styles fan. I feel like him getting back to the main roster after his injury, bringing back the OC, you brought him back in hot, and I thought that he had all the momentum in the world. However, logically, if a SmackDown person gets this, then they automatically have to go to Raw, which means you now have to make sure that 4 people get traded over to Raw. I guess that's why they have so many free agents.
I guess. I mean, Baron Corbin is still showing up randomly. So, but as far as the action of the match, I mean, if you saw them at Money in the Bank for the Universal Championship, chef's kiss. This is no different. I definitely thought that once AJ hit that pedigree on Seth, it was over with. You just make me believe. How did this man hurt his damn knee? Can't do the curb stomp. But then all of a sudden he can do a pedigree and a curb stomp again, and his knee is magically fine. His knee is magically fine, and I knew that AJ wasn't going to kick out, because every time that Seth gets a deed done for him, he puts his head down so his hair covers his face, and he's thanking the person that he's pinning. Every time.
Why do you have to always go behind the curtain? Can a person just be a mark? Because I mean, away. My kids don't know that. If my kids are listening to this right now, but they probably do know that. They're in touch wrestling fans. They actually, I'm sorry to interrupt you. They knew that.
I mean, we see these things. I mean, we saw it at SummerSlam last year with Brock and Roman, and WrestleMania, where he squeezed Brock squeezed Roman's neck just to say he was okay. And it's certain little tidbits that they're just doing just to make sure to tell their opponent they're okay or thank you, and Seth does it all the time. That's just his thing. But I thought it was good. I didn't understand Triple H, like I didn't understand the language between Triple H and Seth, right? Like, it was weird. Like, it was definitely it was a weird vibe. Like, this is the guy who, and there's always a plan B, got you to the upper stratosphere of superstardom, and he just gave him like a halfway hug, like, fuck you doing out here? Like,
they had a whole conversation. He held his hand. They did all the things they took the backstage pictures and all that kind of stuff. They're in Saudi Arabia, for heaven's sakes.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it was kind of half-assed. So, but for me, I definitely enjoyed it. I don't think it was match of the night for me, but it was definitely most action-packed. I thought.
Can't be match of the night. Roman's on the card.
That's still not match of the night. That gets performance of the night, but match of the night.
You do know that wrestling is storyline. I teach you that every time we talk.
God, okay. I don't give a good dog damn about the storyline. I care about the action in the ring.
That's what wrestling is. It's a fact. So a match, if a story is the better telling match of a match, I'm just saying. But I digress. You have the right. Yes, sure. Just saying. There's action. There's reality and perception, brother. That's all.
Action-wise, match of the night. It was Gunther and Ali.
I will give, of course, Gunther's in any match is almost match of the night when it comes to whooping somebody's ass.
It wasn't because of him, though. It was because of Ali.
Executive consultant, your take on Seth freaking Rollins win the title. We knew he was going to win. It was pretty much made for him. Look, you got the lion mane, hair, matches the belt. Good take.
So the other night, we had the pleasure on this very network to do the prediction show. And when we did the prediction show, I said, and I quote, 1 + 1 = 2. Seth Rollins is on Raw. They made sure to make a point that Roman was going to keep his title on SmackDown. Can you turn that off, please? Turn it off, please. Thank you. Seth Rollins being on Raw automatically equals he was going to be the world champion. There was no surprise about this. These two were only on the show in order to have the match that they did, which was a very good match that made Seth earn having the championship. AJ Styles had no chance of winning that match. He's probably going to continue his feud, even though he beat him the other night with that damn Karrion Kross, who's always so intimidating. I'm coming for you. Like that person should be afraid since he never wins.
That boy is the most intimidating loser.
Yeah, exactly. The most intimidating loser. He always brings a card. I'm beating you next, but you lose. That being said, I understand why people will be a little upset this being the first match. However, if it was going to be the first match, it was going to be the match before the last match, right? Which was what Brock and Cody was. And realistically speaking, I think it would have been more disrespectful to that new world championship to have it as the match before the last one. This one, you get it out the way, you make it feel important because it's the first match. It's not going to be the last match because realistically speaking, even though, and I agree with Mike, I say all the time, Roman's contract actually says the last match, but he also could be the first match. But
either first
we'll
or last.
talk about it later. You couldn't follow what happened at that last scene, so to speak. We'll say scene because it was storytelling. You couldn't follow what happened at that last scene if you had that as the very first match or even any other match of the night. So it had to go on last. So even though I understand the frustrations, we have to look at mechanics behind the situation. Grand Puba, what you think?
You said a lot of good stuff there, EC.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. This is why I don't pat this guy on the back. It's like the first time World Heavyweight Championship opened up a match. Even
no, it's not
about it too. It was WrestleMania. I forget which year it was, but Alberto Del Rio against Edge. This belt is
27, Atlanta, Georgia.
Thank you, Del Rio.
Thank you, historian. So this belt. Even AJ Styles himself said it. He said this is a secondary belt. It's not. It's going to play second fiddle to the Undisputed Championship, which Roman is wearing. And I enjoyed this match. This match was good. It did a lot of great things. I knew Seth was going to win. And also, too, what give it away is, did they even interview AJ? Like, how do you feel about this World Heavyweight? I feel like
they did video packages.
Okay, yeah. But
was that taped? How do you know it was taped? Because they showed him backstage getting interviewed when he had his luggage or his coat or whatever in his arm. They interviewed him backstage, Seth Rollins, afterwards.
Seth Rollins, and also too, one of you guys mentioned it too. I'd be remiss, right? He's going to be in Captain America. So what better way to be your World Heavyweight Champion is on the set getting ready to beat the shit out of Captain America. Well, Captain America is about to beat the shit out of your World Heavyweight Champion because Captain America's winning. I'm sorry. But this match was good. I enjoyed it. It was it did everything it had to do. And Seth Rollins is going to, I think you just said this easy that they're going. Oh, you said continue to feud with Karrion Kross, right? Because I'm going to say AJ just needs to stay on SmackDown.
That's my speculation.
I think AJ.
I don't know if that's the case. They teased, it's probably going to be AJ.
Well, we already seen that again.
But exactly. However, at the same time, they did kind of tease the Scarlett Mia Yim thing on Friday, so it could go that direction too. Either direction, possibly, but you do have to have something to do with AJ. I actually see AJ going after Roman soon also, but we'll talk more about that after we get to the next match.
I do agree with all you guys' take on that. I think the match was really good, and I agree with you, Executive Cook. It had to go first. If it's not going to be last. And I don't think it disrespects the title at all because it goes first. It actually gives them the shine of being. Remember, how do you get a show started? You want to start a show hot.
Yep.
That's how you start a show. It started off hot. And
I agree. Yeah. If you got a full docket of NFL games in the playoffs, you going with the AFC Championship or you going to NFC Championship? So you can't lose. You can't lose if you go with Seth and AJ.
You threw me off for a second. I thought you were going to do some kind of
no. If you got two marquee matchups, you need those viewers. You can't go wrong.
That's where you start. Absolutely. So the next match, though, we did get Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus being
looking
just
like a
as
fox.
just as Stratus faction as can be. Okay,
I told you about to get some dope bodysuits.
Listen,
I said we was going to get some dope bodysuits.
You said we were going to get some dope bodysuits, and damn it,
Trish was wearing that
you
bodysuit.
was listen between Trish and Bianca Belair. We'll talk about her later as well. But then Trish Stratus wins because shout out to Scott.
Listen, she has some
the
yammies.
biggest Zoey Stark's fan there could be that I know. I'm like, I didn't see this coming. I absolutely loved it. Trish can't be the everyday wrestler. You know what I mean? So you gotta have somebody. How else you get this girl started? You're pairing her with one of in a lot of people's minds, the greatest of all time. Okay, we all know who that is. I'll let that be from the show. She has not been on
It's
TV
too early for that, Mike.
No, it's never too early to say that Charlotte Flair is the greatest women's wrestler. Damn it! Of all time.
I had to save my walk-off.
For the record, I'm highlighting Dice because I blame you for the fact that I just had to listen to that. You
I had to save my walk-off.
You set it up
It
for
was
it.
Grand Poobah's fault.
It wasn't me.
It was Poobah who said it's too early for all this. It's never
No,
too
it was
early.
Dice. It was Grand Poobah? Oh,
No, it
Grand
wasn't
Poobah.
me.
oh, well,
Grand
F
Poobah.
you.
That's the best you got? Is that
Yes,
that's
that's the best I got.
comeback?
Zoey Stark
Supporter.
helps Trish Stratus,
Right.
wins this match against Becky Lynch. Your take on this one, Grand Poobah, since you got that chant out of me.
It did what it had to do. I thought early on they were there was some miscommunications, but as the match progressed, they were cooking. So I thought the match was pretty solid. It was good, and it was everything it had to be. Trish had to get the win so you could continue this feud. My thought was on the prediction show, I said, because where is Lita? She's been missing for so long.
Let her stay missing, please.
No, she's been missing. She's on what is that show? Treasures and
The Treasures.
Treasures and Biography. But I said, oh, maybe she comes out, help her friend, get revenge on Becky because she lost to her last year. But Zoey Stark, I didn't see that coming, and I think that's a great pairing. I watch a lot of her stuff on NXT. I think she's really good in the ring. She lacks personality, but I think her being paired with Trish, it helps her in a way. I don't know if it necessarily helps her with personality, but it helps her.
I think it helps with her personality.
It does. It's going to push her in the right direction. I think Zoey could be a player in the women's division, and Becky don't lose anything. And you was talking about the suits, right? You were talking about the suits. Trisha's suit was a playback to her old suit that she wore in the mid-2000s. And Becky, the one thing I've learned about Becky, she loves Kill Bill. She's a big fan of Kill Bill. She'll wear the hell out of some yellow.
Listen, I'm gonna say the same thing I said.
Yeah, it's like the third
I'm gonna
time
say
he
the
in this
same
suit.
time that I said to King Vaughn. Y'all gonna stop disrespecting the greatest martial artist of all time, Bruce
I've
Lee,
never
who
seen
started
That was
all of
not
that.
Bruce Lee.
It's Bruce Lee started, and then Kill Bill added the patches. That's the only freaking difference. Okay, and yes, so that's what I'm saying. Kill Bill took it from Bruce Lee. So it's a Bruce Lee.
Ladies and
thing.
gentlemen,
If it was
Monday,
Bruce Lee-
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you can watch all these movie talks on UPRE. But right now, we're talking Night of
If
Champions.
that was Bruce Lee, it would have been the full suit, no patches.
I just said
when you
other than the
add something
patches,
to
it's
it,
the
Trish
same
when you add
Stratus
something to
and
it, it's no
Becky
longer Bruce Lee.
Lynch was such a great match, and I have to applaud Trish Stratus for being a 40-year-old woman who still was able to pull off a really, really solid match. She did a fantastic job. And so did Becky Lynch. I'm not going to talk about the outfits too much. Trish Stratus was wearing a great outfit, great outfit, including the one she was wearing on her face. I really did like it. But let's talk about Zoey Stark coming out, right? Because Zoey Stark, as Bad Guy Jack said, lacks personality. I remember Mike Knoxxx saying something about Scott was Zoey Stark's biggest fan. Well, it's not hard to be the biggest fan. We're the only one. Zoey Stark is not entertaining enough to really have fans like that. But what do you do with somebody who actually, and I agree with Grand Poobah down there, is a good in-ring worker? She's a very good in-ring worker. And when she comes out, there's a reason why WWE keeps in piping booze, right? So when she comes out, in order to make a noise, you have to have the pipe in booze because otherwise you're not paying attention. The person who can give her a personality and work on having a personality in order to tell a story in the ring that creates people to look at her is none other better than Trish Stratus, who was arguably one of the greatest of all time to do it. Granted, she was at the greatest of all time because she was at a time where it was only really her and Lita, but she still is, as she proves, she can still go. So shout out to that. I'm a big fan of this pairing. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, Trish, for making that match entertaining. Thank you, Trish, for making Becky relevant again. And thank you, Trish, for making me know who Zoey Stark is.
Listen, I don't have to say nothing after that besides Dice going, I'm just going to applaud that. That's exactly how that feels. You the match.
Well, first of all, you left out the most important thank you for Trish, and that's wearing that suit. So you didn't want to focus on the suits, but I'm going to focus on the suits. I'm going to focus on the suit.
You know what? You might not focus as much on the suit if she took all that makeup off her face.
If she took the makeup off her face, she's still fine.
Fine.
Still fine.
I don't think
so. Fine. Anyway, and the most important part of that suit playing her character says, Zoey, by the way, on the back of the suit, it says, "Thank you, Trish." She's playing her heel.
That was the best part of the suit, yo.
I mean, like, that was so dope. I thought it was pretty dope. It's playing into her character. She's egotistical and she wants her thanks. And if nobody else is going to give her thanks, she's going to thank herself on her damn suit. So I'm going to thank her for wearing the suit. But like Bad Guy said, there was a couple of miscues. However, it shows the professionalism of Trish. She's clearly calling the match. And if something messed up, she would switch it. But you would still get the same result. Like when they went on the outside and she pushed Becky, right? Like she pushed her. She meant to push her harder, but she barely put fingertips on her. Okay, that didn't work. All right, let's flip this around and spin and then push me into that joint, and then boom, you get the result that was supposed to happen because the steps didn't even make a noise. It was like doom. Okay, now if you're gonna ram somebody into the steps, we need those steps to dislodge, and that's the result that you want.
And just for the people at home, a John is a person, place, or thing. Okay,
it's a noun. It's a noun. But in closing, I thought something sneaky was happening when she was down on all fours. She looks under the ring, and I'm thinking she's reaching for something, but clearly she could have pulled it out, but she didn't. And then Zoey came. I just want to say, Scott, Zoey had a little bit of yammies with the jeans on. I don't know. I didn't know where it came from. She had a little bit of yammies, but I still think she looks like a I don't even know. A German Shepherd.
Don't you say it. Don't you say it.
She's like a German Shepherd.
Don't you say it. We're gonna move.
Got on. Nice teeth. It's nice. Yeah. That's
nice
a teeth.
Very good smile.
That's a nice. That's an acceptable picture. I wouldn't tell nobody.
We're not going to sit here and talk about Zoey Stark's look. She's happily married woman. I'm pretty sure she don't give a crap about any of us.
That's moving fine. But we can have an opinion.
Or her yams.
Moving on. First of all, stop that. Yams matter. Okay.
No, all yams matter. All yams lives matter.
That is not true.
Listen, Night of Champions, we had to, and we said it earlier in the opening show there. Gunther taking on Mustafa Ali. I knew he wasn't winning this match. There was no reason for him to win this match. He got his ass beat. On to the next story. That's all I gotta say. Let's move on from this real fast as we can. First, I'm gonna start with you, Grand Poobah. Your thoughts on this match?
Oh, I love this match. This match was my only thought about it was this going to be a squash? Was Gunther just going to go in there, chop this guy, he turns to dust, and that was going to be the end of this match. But Mustafa Ali really showed up in this match, showed what he could do. I felt like the crowd was really behind him and believed that he could beat Gunther. He hit him with the 450, and you see people really getting behind him. And I Mustafa, I mean, on the main roster, he hasn't been hitting. A lot of people don't. He doesn't get a reaction. So him getting this reaction out here, it was a standing ovation for him. I was happy for him. But Gunther was going to win. And once I saw Gunther, there's a few things that scare me in life. Mice, height, and Gunther jumping in the air with a freaking drop kick. That is scary. So when he was in the air, 2 feet in the air, boom, hit Mustafa in the corner. I said, oh, that's game. That is freaking game. And then he powerbombed him, beat him. I really like this match. This match was a lot better than I thought it would be because I expected a squash. I really expected a squash. So I appreciate they gave him some offense out there. But goddamn, if you see Gunther jump in the air, it's over.
You got the same, Arabic guy coming home. It wasn't gonna be a squash match. Executive consulting. Your take on Gunther and Mustafa Ali. You're muted, by the way.
Yeah, I know. So I'm trying to figure out, what's the saying? Copy my homework, but don't make it look like you're copying my homework. So I'm watching this match, and all I'm thinking is this, right? It's the same principle.
Leave that there. Oh, God.
Oh my! What are you on to this morning? What are you on this morning on
Every
God's
day, bro.
Day?
That's
What do you mean?
That's
God,
every day.
What do you mean, pervert society? What you mean?
Somebody told me somebody was talking about a gas station pill the other day. I can't remember who, but
The honey packs? The honey packs?
Can we get to the match? Can we get to
Anyway, okay. I'm sorry, Mr. Kill Bill, Bruce Lee. All right, but anyway, right? Backlash had a match between Zelina Vega versus Rhea Ripley for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and everybody was like, "Why is this match happening? This should be a squash." Zelina Vega had no chance. 1 month later, or 3 weeks later in this case, Gunther versus Mustafa Ali for the Intercontinental Championship. It's the same principle. They wanted to give Ali a rub. He's a great talent. He's a great hand. I'm not sure why somebody say he has been here on the main roster. I don't want to hear that saying when you've been on the main roster for 7-8 years now. Because he's been on the main roster for 7 or 8 years now. And he has not hit. I said this on a prediction show the other night. He should be released. He wanted to be released. There's no reason to keep him. He does not sell tickets. He does not get merchandise. He does not get a crowd reaction. Last night was the crowd reaction for him. Just like I told Zelina Vega a couple weeks ago, even though she doesn't watch, but just like I told Zelina Vega a couple weeks ago, I'm going to tell Mustafa Ali now. This is your ceiling, bro. You ain't getting any higher. I'm sorry. The match was fine. The match was good. I enjoyed it. Gunther is a great talent. Gunther will be one of the greatest Intercontinental champions of all time to me. And then before the end of the year, he's going to be that world title.
They're already calling him that. Z is silent.
The blasphemy that just came out of your mouth to disrespect Zelina Vega. You know what? I should expect this from you, but I still don't expect this from you.
Hold on. What's the disrespect? I'm curious.
Yeah, I don't want to hear the disrespect.
That's not Selena's.
Because I'm thinking about this and
Selena's.
this as opposed to down below my pants.
Hold on.
That's not. But that's not.
Please let the brother finish his point. I want to know what the disrespect was.
But that's not saying. You're saying that that's her ceiling. But
That
you're
is
going
her
to sit up.
ceiling.
But you're going to make me believe that a Carmella can do this, and a woman as beautiful. Hold up, time out. A woman as beautiful as Zelina Vega cannot win a championship, but Carmella with James No Chin Ellsworth can.
I think I said.
But Liv Morgan can.
I think I said 2 weeks ago. I think I said 2 weeks ago on Mike Knoxxx. Matter of fact, I know I did. Anything is possible is professional wrestling. So that's where you should suspend your disbelief at. But then at the same time, as we're having a show, having a review show, and this is a show for the intelligent wrestling fans, we have to speak intelligently. And what he said was intelligent from the executive consultant. That was her ceiling. Anybody can be champion, but don't you dare compare this beautiful specimen to Carmella. Because the things that Carmella can do in a wrestling as a storytelling, Zelina Vega hasn't clicked on yet. There's a reason why people are where they are. It's not about who you like, what you don't like. It's not about. It's not
talk worse than Bubba Gump.
Zelina's not a great talker either.
He's better than her.
I disagree. I think Zelina Vega is a great talker, but the difference between Zelina Vega and Carmella is Carmella actually looks like she can go in the ring. Carmella is still 4'9". I know height should not mean anything. You have Alexa Bliss. But Zelina Vega does not look like she's somebody who should be able to beat a Rhea Ripley. Should not be able to beat a Bianca Belair.
Well, the problem was y'all had her going against the second coming of one of the 4 horsewomen. Like you couldn't. There's no way. I will
say this before we let Mike say his point and we move on. But Z, I really think that we made Zelina Vega not look like Zelina Vega. She could be exactly the same, except for her facial and beautiful features that she has. You would agree with myself and Mike. I really do believe that. I think you just like her because she's a beautiful woman. She is. She's hot. I would leave my girlfriend for her, and I'm single. All right, but
so we were talking about Night of Champions.
I just think.
Yeah, how did we get there?
Just so people know, we apologize.
He compared.
That's my fault. Go ahead. You're right. You're right.
I will say that I don't think that. I think there's something to be desired for Ali. I think that he's an acquired taste for those that like high flying. So I don't think that he deserves to be released. I think that he's on the he has the same. I mean, he did, yeah, because whatever.
You see him doing better in AEW? Because I think he'd be worse off than AEW.
He's better off being an Impact. He can probably be, world champion in Impact because they'll make anybody
100%. 100%.
But he's 37, right? So this is probably his WrestleMania.
He's making money.
He is making money,
and that's feeling.
For most people, just working in WWE is a dream alone. So this very well may be something for him.
He asked to go. He did ask to go. He wants more,
which is why I say he should be released. I'm a fan of Ali. I said that the other day. I think he's a great talent. but he's not going to make. Look at it. As soon as they had this match, people rolled their eyes. Okay, and for the women, Ali is the equivalent as Zelina Vega is to us.
Don't forget that he was the head of that all terrible Retribution.
Was he?
We're trying to forget about that, Steve.
If you can't get over in the Thunderdome, I mean, I don't know. But let's go ahead. Let's
Was he? All right, moving on, guys. We got Bianca Belair taking on Asuka in the night of the best bodysuit being worn by Miss Bianca Belair.
Yes!
Asuka coming out winning the Raw Women's Championship, becoming a new champion. But let's not forget 420 days of who made that title relevant.
Yeah.
Okay? Look at it, as Dice would say, admire it and enjoy it. Look at that. 420 days. This woman is the John Cena of the female division, and she deserves all in which she got coming to her. But your winner and new champion, Asuka, honestly, these girls have wrestled quite a bit against each other. Mm-hmm. This is one of my favorable ones between the two of them. I really did enjoy this match from the two of these girls, these women. They did such a hell of a job in the ring. And I tell you the truth, I was shocked. I was shocked that Asuka won the title. But then it made me think later, as I said, she's been champion for 420 days of the Raw Championship. You can't really continue that over if she was supposed to swap the titles, is what people were saying they were going to end up doing. Yeah. So now this puts her back out of that title picture on SmackDown. She'd get it back and then become SmackDown champion for another 400 and some days, if you ask me. But I thought the match was great. I thought the match was really good. Again, shocked as hell by the winner of that match being Asuka. Grand Poobah, go ahead and take the floor.
I just want to touch on something you said, because I really agree to that point that you mentioned. They didn't want to touch and ruin, I almost said Becky, Bianca's reign. What was it, 400? I saw someone put 420 days. And I kind of chuckled.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. I'm surprised that the consultant didn't tell us that. I did see that, and of course, I just like 420. So that's when I went in there. But I think it's around. I know it's more than 400 days.
Yeah, that's fine. That's you get.
That is an accurate number. And whoever decided to have Bianca Belair lose the title was definitely celebrating 420. Talk more about that.
I had a whole 420 joke, and you guys beat me to it. But whatever. Yeah. What a high to go out on, right? The match was good. I thought it was kind of, it's slow for me. There was periods where I was really uninterested, but at the end, it really started cooking. The use of Asuka's miss. I'm so used to someone just spinning it at you. For her to just sit here and lick it, and I thought that was creative. That was such a different way of utilizing it. And Bianca, you was talking about her 400-something days. I mean, I was never tired of her reign at all. I was shocked as hell as well. I thought that she was going to beat Asuka. But doing this it makes it easy now to swap the belts. It makes it easier now to do it, because it's very weird to be on SmackDown and I see a red belt, and then I'm watching Raw and there's a blue belt. So now you can swap the belt, because it's just odd. Visually, it just throws me off sometimes. I'll be like, oh, this is for the Raw Women's Championship, and then it's like, oh, these are SmackDown girls. But someone pointed out this too, with Asuka winning the championship, right? We might eventually get a Asuka and Io match. And I said, I would be totally down to see these two girls go at it. I don't know how long her reign is going to be, but the idea of Asuka and Io going for the championship, I would be excited for it. Sign me up. So, yeah, I would just agree with you. I was shocked as hell.
Z is silent.
There does not need to be a title swap now. It's null and void. Asuka's Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Rhea's SmackDown.
No, she's SmackDown.
No. It's the other way around.
Asuka's SmackDown?
Asuka's SmackDown too. And Rhea's Raw. And they both have their own titles. That's why they were talking about a swap. The whole
wait. Yeah. Say that again. I thought the whole Judgment Day got.
They all went to Raw.
Yeah, on Raw.
And
that's
Rhea
stupid.
Well, no, they just haven't swapped the belt shit. We those are weeks ago, guys. Where you been?
Listen, no, I'm dead at. I am
playing the part of the Willatine Dream today. Is
Okay, I had to go and look at the. Okay, I had to go and look at the.
What I missed.
The roster page.
It's like shocking to you, right? You're like, wait, what?
No, I had to go to look at the roster page. I'm literally looking at the roster page right now. Okay, so yeah, all right. I stand corrected. I thought this was a way to get out of the title swap. This is not. So now my whole point has been null and void. Anyway, like I was saying earlier this week, the Asuka change into the Kana persona, it makes absolutely no sense if she does not redeem herself and gets the belt. This is the most savage of Asuka that people know. Before NXT, Kana is who was running New Japan Pro Wrestling, and this is
care about that shit.
They do.
People don't know that shit though. That's why I keep trying to tell. Nobody knows about that. Nobody cares about content other than people like yourself and people. You know, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the people that their audience don't know who the fuck that is. That's all right.
All right. Let me tell you. Let me ask you this. I'm gonna tell you this, and I hate to bring up his name, but if you tell me, if you bring up, if this was mid 2000s, mid late 2000s, and we're still looking at Hulk Hogan in yellow and red, right? But then somebody tells you, let's not forget about Hollywood Hogan, because Hollywood Hogan was savage. People going to go back.
That's completely different, though. You cannot compare You cannot compare the biggest of all time who put this thing on the map to the Asuka.
I'm not.
I'm talking about. You just did that. Though.
I'm talking about a persona that resonates with people that they can go back and look forward to.
There would be no Hollywood without the other one. So I'm saying. No,
I'm
she
not
got
saying,
introduced to this company.
No, I'm not saying that.
That's what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying, Dice, but
I'm saying
you used the wrong person because you use somebody who still is the United States of America. So a lot of people who watch WWE watch.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
So I do get what you're saying.
I do get it.
What I am saying is, if somebody tells me there's a version of this wrestler that was crazier than what you see today.
Yeah.
And if it makes me now intrigued to go and Google this
because
or go and look at it.
Right. It's a different world.
So that's all I'm saying. So when you get to see that, you say, damn, this Kana persona actually was savage as AF, then yeah, this is what people want. They want to see it now with a platform like a WWE and not New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's all I'm saying.
This is why, respectfully, I disagree. And I'll let you finish your point. I promise you. Remember we talked about AJ Styles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I told you, no matter how great you told me he was in Impact Wrestling, TNA, it didn't matter. If I couldn't see him do that on that stage, because what lower quality production storylines will give you versus what they can give you on another stage, it correlates differently. I didn't respect AJ. I mean, he could wrestle. I'm not blind. Damn, he can wrestle. But a sports entertainment wrestler, I didn't think the boy had it in him at all until WWE. So going back, I mean, doesn't matter if you don't do it on this stage. So she can have any persona she wants to. They're only going to still know what they give her because, like he just said with the red and the blue titles, we're programmed. This company has programmed this for decades it's their way, and that's all we know. That's all.
Okay. I did think that something was weird when she was coming out in her entrance. By the way, the mask was dope, and I saw the fingers taped, and I immediately thought of the Great Muta because she has never taped her fingers. Never. You just did Sabu.
I know I
did. She's never taped her fingers. So I didn't know if that was just a tribute to him because she's constantly getting every week she's getting compared to the Great Muta. And so we didn't need a lesson. We didn't need a lesson, Derek. I'm just making a point. Somebody told me Hollywood Hogan was savage. I need to Google how savage he was. That's it.
And today's Seth Rollins' birthday. What's your point?
But I thought it was.
Is Vaughn here?
I don't see them making new titles.
We never see more than one missed in a match.
Of course.
We never see more than one miss. So I thought that was pretty dope seeing her just like spread it all over her fingers. She knew it was coming and she was prepared for it. I thought it was a dope way for Bianca to drop that title and still look strong. There are such things as strong losses, and Bianca took a strong loss, and I'm okay with the result. I mean, I love Asuka. I love Asuka, one of my favorites of all time. I thought that she deserved it. This was a really good way for her to win. How can you boo this character who's so happy and joyful, but still a heel? It's hard. It's really hard. So I thought it was a great match overall.
I think they have a problem overall with Seth Rollins as well. Like Seth Rollins' whole character is a heel, but they're trying to. But I don't think is he a face? You know what I mean? But his whole character is heel. Executive consultant, your take on this match?
Seth Rollins is definitely a face now. So here's the thing. I wanted to mention some things. Shout out to Grand Puba because he made me realize because I didn't read the reports or read the commentary because I don't read people's commentary anymore because everybody's stupid. But I have to admit that I didn't think about the bigger picture with Asuka winning the Raw Women's Championship with the possible swap now because you don't want to interfere with Bianca. Because I felt like they just did it.
I said that, but okay.
Okay, well, if you did, I didn't pay attention. Maybe you were being long.
That's why he didn't want to give you the credit.
Right. So, but I had a conversation with the Grand Puba last night about it. Okay, so I'm giving him the credit for that. Okay, you give yourself
Don't worry,
credit
Mike,
even when you're asleep.
He's not gonna fire you. It's okay. He can give other people credit.
So
I always give myself a very hard wits. Go ahead.
We know you do. Look at your entrance. So here's the thing, right? When you are having Asuka as the champion, that's a credible person to defeat Bianca Belair, who is Super Cena, who is a strong champion, she looks like a champion. She is a champion. She's a role model. I mentioned it at the WrestleMania entrance. If you pay attention to anything, look at her WrestleMania entrance this year, and you see what she is to the company and what she means to so many of the young children. Now, that being said, shout out to Bad Guy Jack, Grand Puba again, because I didn't even think about the Asuka EO possibility. I think that is fantastic. I'm excited for that. When you said that, I felt like Z when he looks at somebody's bodysuit. Now, moving on. He mentioned Kana and what Kana needed to be redeemed. Now, I mentioned on the prediction show a couple nights ago, that Asuka has, since she came back as Kana, she's pretty much lost every single one of her matches. They had to feed her somebody a couple weeks ago just so she can get a W, but she's lost all her matches. She needed that W. She is Asuka. She is, in my opinion, the greatest women's wrestler of all time. That's my opinion, right? That being said, she's been Kana for quite a while. Ever since she started putting makeup on, she's been using the mist and everything like that. She went full-fledged Kana because she needed some kind of an upgrade because every time she gets in the ring with Rhea Ripley, she kicks her ass for some reason. Like, it's not even close.
Since January.
Actually, since WrestleMania 37. Every single time Rhea Ripley and Asuka get in the ring, Rhea Ripley whips her ass. It is so sad because that is Asuka, that is Kana. In my opinion, one of the greatest women of all time. If just go by resume alone, that's the main reason why I'm saying it. If you go by resume alone, it is Asuka. She's won everything you could think of. There's nothing out there that she has not won. So this match was a good match. I thought it did exactly, I'll use Ron's phrase that I used to say all the time. I think it did exactly what it needed to do because it did. It got the title off of Bianca to somebody who's credible, somebody who's strong, and now you probably can do the swap because it's not really going to affect Rhea Ripley. She just won the SmackDown Women's title about 50 days ago. So I am a fan. I did think this was going to happen possibly anyway because Bianca also needed to be a little bit of a refresher. I wasn't bored with her championship reign, but I do think we can go in a different direction a little bit. I think she does need something. I actually wouldn't mind seeing Bianca take some time off for a month.
I actually thought that.
That's a good idea.
I thought that would be what happened.
Sometimes you need, when you're feeling that stale and feeling that force to people, sometimes people need to miss you.
And someone pointed out.
Charlotte Flair realizes that.
Someone was pointing that out that the crowd, and I remember at Backlash that she was getting booed, but she won them over. Hence, remind me of Rocky IV, the best Rocky, by the way. And then you had last night, they were saying that while they were cheering for Asuka, you could still hear the boos with Bianca. So
yes,
taking some time,
but she still was over.
No, she was absolutely. But I agree with that. I think that would be a great idea for her to step away for a period and then just come back brand new and refreshed.
She needs it. She needs to do the opposite of Bray Wyatt and Asuka, who for some reason, I'm not Asuka, Alexa Bliss, who leave way too soon after coming back. So go ahead.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Let's talk about something we're not going to talk about. And that's this squash match right here between Rhea Ripley and the birthday girl, Natty. See this? So you're going to get, pick her up. That's the best part of the whole entire match. The best part of the match was the celebration at the end. That was the best part
of the match.
Huh?
What was the point?
They had to have a title, and it's not a champion, and all the titles on the line. So,
wait. Well,
I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it.
Austin Theory didn't defend nothing.
No, he did not. He did not. The United States Championship was not defended. That is
not defended.
Not it was the women's tag.
What was the purpose of the match? To see the bodysuits.
No, that was. They were going to have a match, and then they had to cut it for time.
Okay. Well,
Did they have to cut it for time? Listen, I had drags on Newports longer than that match.
I also thought that as well, Dice. Like, I thought cut for time. No, because the other matches I thought were going to be cut for time. Didn't tell me they were cut. I don't.
Exactly.
So I don't.
If you look at all 7 matches, which match would you have cut?
This one.
Exactly.
So that was the.
That's
so
why.
there it is.
That's why.
So there it is. All right. So we do get Night of Champions. We get Broken Arm Cody taking on, look at my face, Brock Lesnar for the title. And if anybody thought for 1 second after Monday, Brock Lesnar, after whooping that man's ass like that, how was Cody supposed to win this match? That would diminish everything about Brock Lesnar to me. If Broken Arm Cody would have beat Brock Lesnar. Okay? So Brock does what Brock does best. Look at my face! And match was over. Good match. Better than Backlash to me from an in-rings perspective. They gave it more time, I thought also. I thought it was a very good match. Winner of this match, Brock Lesnar. Your take on this one, Dice?
I'm over it. I'm over Cody getting beat down. I'm over. Okay, like he was in AEW. Like, all right, we get it.
Mick Foley got his ass put longer than this.
Like, I'm over it at this point. Is Brock putting him over? Why would you say that Brock is putting him over?
Because he's Brock freaking Lesnar. And
did he put over? Did he put over Zach Gowen?
Yeah.
Give me.
Why are you mentioning something from 2003? Well,
because this is what I can do.
Give me something recent. Brock has been trying to put people over for
trying, or has
he been back on his last?
Who has he? Okay, so who has he put over?
He put over Keith Lee, and look what happened to him.
He put over Drew McIntyre.
Put over Drew McIntyre. Put over Bobby Lashley.
Keith Lee over, it means that he looks at him and goes, "Big boy." Like,
that is putting him over. That's a rub. That's called a rub in professional wrestling.
And honestly, too, if you look at that Rumble when he gave him that big shove, I mean, Brock don't really sell for people like that.
No, he don't.
He's with you. Matter of fact, that match with AJ, even though AJ lost, you could tell that he liked him enough to be selling for him.
I can tell who Brock likes in matches because he spends longer time with them. Case in point, Cody Rhodes. Mm-hmm. Okay, he gave it for like 12, 13 minutes. But I mean, actually, here's the thing. The funny thing is, if the smaller you are, apparently the more time he gives you. I don't know why, but if you're a big guy, hey, we're going in there for 5-6 men. We're going to be big, meaty men slapping meat. But if you're a smaller guy, I'm going to throw you around for 12. You're going to act like you're going to do something for 5, and then I'm going to beat you with the last one. That's what it is.
If I can add real quick to you, was asking what did Brock do to put over Cody? Can you put that last picture up, Mike? The picture. I found this really ridiculous that Cody was sat in what's it called? I forget, the Kimura lock for like 5 minutes. When I've seen
Undertaker didn't even do that.
Yeah, he sat in that move for like 5-6 minutes, and I thought that was ridiculous. But I was with it because when Cody got out, I said, "Let's go." I was actually high. Now, Mike, you was mentioning earlier, like if you thought Cody. I thought Cody with the heart of Georgia was going to make a comeback, and I was wrong. And I have no problem admitting I was wrong.
That's beautiful.
I mean, this is the same guy who went in, and I remember we did the prediction show, and this is obviously a storyline that his arm is broke, but went in Hell in a Cell with a torn pec and beat Seth Rollins. So I said, I'm not betting against Cody.
That's why I thought it couldn't happen, to be honest with you. That's why. Once Monday came and that was the storyline.
That was the out.
That's it. Yeah, right. That's why I said he's losing on Sunday or Saturday morning.
Can we talk about that pectoral shit? Because I'm so sick and tired of it. You know, I mean, he tried to recreate it last night too when he, took the thing off. He took this off first, and now let me slowly, dramatically, like I'm in Basic Instinct, take off the other so I can reveal.
Storytelling was great.
Man, get the hell out of here. Dice, you were talking about it before I rant on this match. Go ahead.
I wasn't for it. Honestly, I wasn't for it. I mean, so what is now for however long? What Cody's going to just be wrestling with this stupid cast? Like, what you all of a sudden you become Cowboy Bob Orton with his cast? Like, I'm good on this. Like,
I can name 25 wrestlers. I mean, not off the top of my head right now that have wrestled with injuries. Why does that matter to whether you like the story or not? But without him having a broken arm, right? If he goes into this match perfectly healthy, you would have Mark thinking he was going to beat Brock Lesnar. And then you say, what have Brock Lesnar done to put somebody over? Well, you want Cody to still stay strong. You need Cody to still stay strong because there is a story here to be told. There's chapters to this thing, like we've seen with the Bloodline, which we're going to talk about soon. Okay? Brock.
The chapter I want to see is why he's attacking Cody in the first place. I really don't understand why they have that story.
Because he's Brock Lesnar. Maybe we've never got an answer for that in the first place. Also, of why this happened from the beginning.
Because he's the Scorpion.
It was never an answer for it, but I mean, I'm not going to say his broken arm takes away from the storyline. Or
no, I didn't. I could give a good dog damn about the storyline at this point because the storyline is boring to me. To me, it is boring, right? Because even without the broken arm, are you still believing that he's going to beat him after the first time was a fluke? No, I didn't need it. All you needed to do is still give Brock his get back, and we would still get to a rubber match later on down the road. That's all this is going to lead to. So therefore, I didn't need the extra cinematic. I didn't need all of that.
He
could have beat him down and not broken his arm, and still would have been okay for me.
Because then they would have made it look like they would have made Cody look weak, and Cody has to look like Captain America. That's who he is now. The Captain American nightmare,
the Lander dude from
Homelander.
It's really ridiculous, and I completely agree with you. See, I'm not bored with the storyline personally. I enjoy Brock Lesnar kicking ass, and
that's all right. That's just me. I enjoy Brock Lesnar.
I'm going to use a phrase that I always tease Mike about, and I said it already with Asuka. I'm saying it again with Brock. I think Brock is one of the most underrated GOATs of all time because the man has a mindset, even though people think doesn't like the business, but the man, even if he doesn't, I don't see it because the man's mindset for the business is amazing. Because listen to what y'all said even about the match. Yeah, it's the money, but I don't think it's just the money personally, right? Because I think I mentioned this to Grand Poop.
He mails it in just like Orton's been claimed to mail it in.
He shows up. You remember the time where he only had to show up like 12 times a year, right? And he showed up for the majority of Raws, I swear this year. He showed up for every PLE. And when he's in that match, you heard him with the heart of Georgia. I thought Cody was going to because Cody's very good at drawing you in emotionally. Again, because everybody feels sorry if you lose a parent, Lord knows, right? And he milks it. But Brock knows how to tell a story. As the bully who's beating you down, and this guy is resilient. His facial expressions, everything, he does a great job. I was worried. I wasn't hoping. I was worried that Cody was going to win in the second. Like, please don't do it. Especially when he was doing the trifecta of Crossroads and stuff like that. And then
I thought he was going to win too.
I thought he was going to win. I was happy to see Brock Lesnar win. One, because Brock needed to get the W back. I've always said Cody Rhodes needs to take a few L's. I think you and I talked about it on these shows. Cody needs to take a few L's. This is somebody believable for him to take L, and then when he gets his comeuppance, then he can go into a title picture with Seth Rollins. Everybody keeps thinking he's going back after Roman. A title picture with Seth Rollins because those two never truly had their match to say, hey, motherfucker, you took me out for a fucking year, right? They haven't done that yet. They always act like you go your way, I go mine. But when the two of those...
I told you he was never going after Roman.
Baby faces in the business right now, go at it for probably SummerSlam. I think.
Is he going to beat Seth 4 times?
Yes, he's going to beat Seth.
It's a possibility.
He's going to beat Seth
because
he's not going to beat Roman.
That story he's already done. He's beaten him 3 times clean at that. Now he's got to go. And the story's not for the.
I agree with you. But I don't. I agree with you, but I don't see Cody taking L. So I think. Well, we were going to have it last night. But somebody, once again, who only has one job, did not do his job. So we're going to see.
Well, technically, I'm the reigning champion right now, Charmaine, by the way.
I want to ask you a question. This guy who has the one job, who brought him back?
So tonight we're going to see. So tonight we're going to see if we're going to have a new UPR champion because, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have 2, not 1, but 2 pay-per-view PLEs.
That shouldn't even count.
And that is AEW.
We're not going to do that for tonight, and we didn't do it for last night.
And NXT takeovers, 2 of them. Let's go ahead and do all of them. I'll make sure he knows.
What happened?
Oh, you took Z out because he went backstage. Okay, yeah. So it looked amazing. It was out of nowhere. It was like the Taker. But that's to answer your question. However, Cody's going to probably beat Seth Rollins. He won't beat Roman. I think we're going to talk about who probably is going to beat Roman, which surprised me when we talk about this main event.
Well, let's get to it right here and right now. Your main event, because Roman Reigns, your tribal chief,
1,000 days, baby,
was in the main event, taking on look at the throbe. This entrance, listen, him, Sami Zayn doing their entrance in Arabic,
that was cool.
Was just dope. I no longer want to be a fat guy anymore because of this, because I want to wear 2 titles like that. If you're skinny, this is how you're supposed to wear your championships if you're a belt king. If you got more than 1 belt, you rock it like this. Shout out to Mo_Eaton, who, because he's that damn skinny, wore like 4 at one time. Oh, it's just like a bulletproof belt of chains. But
oh my God,
this match, the storytelling in this match, and I'm going to do something you should have done a long time ago, because we the ones, not him. And I'm going to do it to him because he deserves it. I said it yesterday. I'm going to say it today. Brett screwed Brett, and Roman screwed Roman. I'm sorry. I am the biggest motherfucking Roman Reigns fan I know.
Jesus.
That I know. I've been a Roman Reigns fan from day one, like I've been an Uso fan from day one. Roman would not have gotten this far. He would not have gotten this far without the Usos. Right? Dice said it for weeks. Months back. Oh, it started with main event Jay. No, it started with fucking Jimmy. Jay's only there because Jimmy got hurt. If Jimmy doesn't get hurt, Jay, there is no main event Jay. We still don't know which one he is if Jimmy doesn't get hurt. I'm the big brother. Everything, the bloodline implode. Your tribal chief has to regroup. And I'm going to say it because people are saying it. Jason Campbell, you said it, so I'm going to mention you first. There is no putting in other members of the bloodline who ain't fucking blood. I'm not related to every black person, hence 3 of us on this program. Just because we're all African-American don't mean we can have a bloodline. Okay? The bloodline's about family. So can it be regrouped and rebuilt? Evidently. Clearly it can be. You got Nia Jax out there. Okay? You got The Rock's daughter in NXT, which she's so super green. I can't see her coming up no time soon. But the winners of this match, and still your tag team champions, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, because it had to be done. Executive consultant, you've been waiting this whole entire time for this moment. Go right ahead.
Oh my God.
You mean to tell me? Let me clear my throat. You mean to tell me that you and all these mofos in the comments actually think it was a good idea not to take the tag team championships?
I'm going to tell you why.
Sami?
I'm going to tell you why it wasn't. You asked me a question, I'm going to answer the question.
I didn't even finish the question,
well,
Mr. Meter Psychic. Go ahead. Tell me now, Cleo. Go ahead. What is it?
Because every wrestling fan that already complains and bitches about those titles and how they don't mean shit, they didn't want to hear that for once. And I am a fair believer they don't give a fuck about people's opinions and stuff like that. But at certain times they do. If you put Roman Reigns and put all those titles on Roman, why do you have tag team titles? And I get how it elevates him. Dice just said, how does it elevate Cody? How does this elevate anybody else? What does that do for anybody else that's involved in that match, including the Usos? Other than him winning it and then handing it to them, that lessens them still. Now, that'd have been dope. I don't think you could have went wrong in this storyline anywhere else, but to answer your question, that's why. For once, I didn't think they wanted to bitch.
You mean to tell me that you think it was a good idea?
No, I didn't say that.
To have
I didn't say that.
Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa not only lose the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championships, well, lose the match and the opportunity, and then that ungrateful piece of shit, Jimmy Uso, to sucker kick your tribal chief.
He was looking at him, so it wasn't a sucker kick. He saw it coming.
Mike Knoxxx.
Who?
Mike Knoxxx. Mike Knoxxx.
Just totally renamed.
I let you have your little opinion of what you thought at the beginning of this match. Please let me get my shit out.
Hey,
okay?
I don't want to see that.
I'm trying to explain to you why it's a bullshit for Jimmy Uso, who, as you said, from your own admission, Mike Knoxxx, don't interrupt me, from your own admission, Mike Knoxxx, and by the way, can I mention this? This is the first time I see it. Not Knoxxx. Z, the only one not wearing red. What's wrong? Now, that being said, right? Jimmy Uso was not known. Mike said it. If Jimmy Uso never got hurt, there would be no Jey Uso. Everybody be saying who is who, which one is which. Roman Reigns did that. Your tribal chief did that. Your head of the table did that. Your head of the table said, I'm putting food on the table, and both y'all going to get an equal share because both y'all are relevant. There was a main event at WrestleMania this year that did not involve Roman Reigns. It involved the Usos. It involved Sami and Kevin. Why? Because of Roman Reigns, your champion. And how do you repay him? You lose once, you lose twice after you dedicated the match to him, and then you kick him in the face. Not once, but twice. You ungrateful bitch. You want to say you're nobody's bitch? You're your own bitch. If Roman didn't screw Roman, Jimmy Uso screwed Roman Reigns. That's my rant.
That was really weak.
I'm gonna take this one. You know what?
You.
Jimmy ain't forgot. He ain't forgot. He never got his get back. He never got his get back. You remember he just fell in line after this. He didn't get his get back. It's been on his mind for a while. That man was tugging on his brother, getting choked out. That man, this been on his mind for a while. But I'm sorry, he's still not the one. Because without the right-hand man, without main event Jay, this don't come on. This don't happen. It's not Jimmy. Jimmy just wants to be with his brother. But if his brother decides that he doesn't want whatever his brother is doing to go against Roman, then it's no bloodline. It's no bloodline. So you're wrong about it being Jimmy.
Explain that. For someone who just said less than 25 minutes ago, the storylines doesn't matter. There is no main event Jay without it being a storyline.
I agree, Z.
Make it make sense.
But I do apologize to you.
What do you mean make it make sense?
You are wearing red, so I apologize.
That's more like maroon.
It's still red.
You're killing me, Smalls.
It's in the family. So he's the Sami Zayn.
Okay. It's not feeling very oozy.
I don't even like red anyway.
Oh no, he doesn't.
I am saying that, why are you on our show right now, Tony? I am saying
double or nothing tonight. Big announcement.
Jimmy being against what Jay is already doing, and Jay having to convince Jimmy that this is for the family. Jimmy had to stay with his brother. If Jay does not tell Jimmy this on behalf of Roman, Jimmy doesn't stay. There is no bloodline. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, go ahead.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I mean, the match, I didn't care about the match. The match was the match. It was the cinematics. It was the extras. You know, it was the extra stuff that actually made the match. I didn't care about the action. I didn't care about the slams.
It was the post-credit scene.
It was the post-credit scene.
Yeah, it was the post-credit
Characters aside, I think people really do need to pay attention to Roman because all his matches that he's in,
they're all the same.
They all have this story. I shouted this out in the chat yesterday. Only Roman Reigns can they have a match and it starts off the first 10 minutes and they don't do anything physical. It's just Roman going around.
Guys. I just have to do this because if you listen to the Mike Knoxxx show more often, George, like you used to for whatever reason, and Camera Woman, can't nobody say I called this and we get involved. 50% of wrestling fans called this shit. Stop it. Go ahead.
Leave it to Mike Knoxxx to interrupt to talk about him, but I will say, this.
I'm just talking about something the air if you're not around, so it's okay.
The unofficial Camera Woman has been on this ever since yesterday. Yes, she called it. I called Asuka winning. I didn't talk anyway. That's fine. Yes, you got it. You got it, Barbs. All right, you got it. Okay. George Samuel Lewis has been overseeing since 2010, so I don't know what to say. Good congratulations to you. But I did want to shout out Roman does this very, very well. The match I thought was pretty good. It's just one of the greatest stories of all time, and the fact that they've been able to keep it going over and over and over again, to adding a different nuance. You see this? You see the emotion behind it? The emotion. Max. Grand Poobah.
I'm gonna say Grand Poobah. Go ahead.
I mean, I have no real thoughts about the match because it was really about the story.
Post credits.
Hold on, real quick before you go. You know who's going to fall in line? Solo is going to fall in line with his brothers. Go ahead.
Eventually, they got to do a slow burn to that. What do I think about this whole thing? I'm just interested in seeing where it goes. I was thinking about all these different chapters from the Bloodline, from the beginning, the middle, the Bloodline becoming one, the Sami Zayn part, then having Kevin Owens, and now this other part now where you got the Usos and they're free from Roman shackles, and to see what's going to happen. I agreed with what you were saying.
Not necessarily.
A lot of people.
Jey Uso's still around.
Jay's conflicted. He don't know what to do, and I think Jay deserves some credit too, because you was mentioning Roman about his acting and what he provides. But I think Jay just as well sitting here being conflicted, because he's like, look at that picture right there in the corner where you see.
I was just looking at that. Yeah,
Jimmy looked like he's saying, "Yeah, we did it," and then Jay is like, "I don't know."
No, I don't think it looks like we did it. I think it looks like I did it. I don't think he looking like a we thing. And I think all their acting, Solo does it. He's like a mime in there. Seriously,
it's a very loud one.
But like when he in the entrance, when he stares, like his look is very intimidating as Solo. I think he does his role very good. So I think all 4 of these family members do such a great job in that cinematic way and telling a story in the ring. It's beautiful.
Even like, Paul Heyman, even outside the ring and anything like that, he does is also really adding into it. And not for nothing, Sami Zayn, when he was a part of it, or even after, because my favorite moment of WrestleMania Night 1 was him taking a deep breath before kicking Jey Uso the last time before getting a 3, because you felt the emotion behind it. And I'm not an emotional guy, but I felt it. You know what I'm saying? Even I had a little drop it somewhere around there because I was like, wow.
Sometimes.
I don't even know what you're saying right now.
Post-credit Jack, go ahead.
But yeah, I thought the stuff was good. I'm interested in seeing what's going to happen and and see where this goes from here, just to see where it goes. So I'm interested.
Do you think perhaps this is it?
Nope.
Oh, nah. I mean, and if they did this...
Everybody's saying SummerSlam so fast, right? But is that Money in the Bank in London is huge.
That's an old graphic, too.
I think you will go ahead and do the Usos versus Solo and Roman at Money in the Bank. I think that's the proper thing to do, because you can't do it at SummerSlam, because honestly speaking, SummerSlam is the second biggest pay-per-view of the year. Right. Yeah. The WWE Undisputed Universal Championship needs to be on the line at SummerSlam. So I would just go ahead and pull the trigger at Money in the Bank.
So what you're saying is tag match and then have Roman face one of them at SummerSlam?
I think the person, this is why I alluded to the last match, I think the person who's taking that title off Roman at this point, and I always disputed it when I saw it, but I think ultimately it has to be Jey Uso.
And Jey will lose.
No, I think Jey wins. I think Jey wins.
I
Undisputed Jey?
I think Jey wins.
That's a nice tag.
I don't think
that's a nice tag.
I don't think he's going to have the championship long. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's going to have the championship long. But I do believe that the person who should end Roman at this point probably should be Jey Uso.
I mean, Jimmy is 100% right. When the tagline, "We the Ones," it started with them. They were saying it before they were even in the Bloodline.
Day one-ish, down since. That was been their tag from the when they first came out of the paint. That was day one. It's been them.
2016.
I know you knew the dates.
Uso, the debut of the Uso Penitentiary. They've been the staple. They've been the pillars of the Bloodline.
Correct.
Pillars,
but not the main event.
He said pillars.
They weren't the main event until Roman Reigns made them main event and brought them
digress.
Before you go, Z, I want to say this with Executive Consultant. I don't disagree with what you're saying, bro.
I see.
It is all because of Roman. I'm not knocking any of that. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, there is no night one main event. There's no Usos being this elevated. I think it's this is not in the Bloodline. Brothers fight, and they're all, hey.
But that's the thing. They're not brothers.
They're all not brothers. As a matter of fact, if you go back to the early storylines, and I thought they were going to do it again last night. We all saying Friday, we ain't kids no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that was, there's a thing about family rivalry and family feuds, right? And
I love that show.
This show has been going, me too. Steve Harvey's family feud, Steve Harvey, been going on for so long. Can you switch it up and add to it? What could be another layer? Like, they can fight and still come back. I don't know. I'm just saying, I agree with you because none of this is possible without the tribal chief Roman Reigns. I do say that, but since they pulled the trigger, I gotta be the wrestling fan and say it was beautiful, and I like that it was Jimmy and not Jey. I liked it. You saw it on Friday. Oh, I'm gonna say it. We all saw it coming when he said, "When it comes to tag teams, I'm the tribal chief." The fuck?
They are at their ends with Roman. Remember, Jason, I don't give a damn what the tribal chief say.
And he did say that there is no more day ones. Roman said that.
So I mean, that's fine. That's fine. But I cannot say that the Usos would not be as big as they are today,
Bobby Lashley,
without the Bloodline. Because they were already still the best tag team in the world, period. We watched them. We watched them tear the house down for a good part of 2 years with the New Day. Anybody that was a tag team got locked in that Uso penitentiary. Locked down. So you going to tell me that Roman is the reason why these guys are number one? No, they were already number one.
Yes,
they were already number one before Roman.
No, they were not main eventing nothing.
No tag team was main eventing anything.
That's
but they are now.
That's the point he's making. That's the point he's making. That's what I'm saying. Without Roman's success of being the arrogant blood, I put the food on the table, I take it off. Without all of that, there is no tag team main event at WrestleMania. The Usos, I'm sorry. Yes, everything you said is actual. But wasn't nobody buying their fucking merchandise like that before they put the fucking day ones where the one sits on. I'm just being honest.
I would probably argue that because those Uso shirts was definitely down
in the world.
Those down since day one shirts was definitely out in the crowd all the time. I will say, hold on.
I will look at the crowd. I'm in the crowd. There were not a bunch of day one-ish t-shirts, bro. At all.
I'm just telling you what I see on TV. I don't give a good dog.
I get confused by it. When I say, "Hey, do you see that t-shirt?" You go, "I don't watch the crowd. What's wrong with you? I don't pay attention to what's people in the crowd."
Anyway, absolutely not. Anyway, I literally put a message in last night. Where are all the women in Saudi Arabia? So
they're not allowed to be there.
So
you put that in there? Oh God, I missed that
in the chat. Yeah. No, but what I am saying is, if you could, now historian EC, tell me a match card that the Usos was on, tearing it down, defending their championships against the New Day, that Roman was on, and Roman was still the main attraction.
Nobody's denying that.
Then nobody. No, hold on.
He's trying to catch you. He's trying to catch you.
Hold on. But you're telling me that Usos versus New Day didn't have match of the night. And now you're going to tell me that these guys are the only reason why these guys are on the top is because of Roman, when they were already on the top.
This is
before Roman transformed into the tribal chief. These guys were already at the top of the pinnacle of tag team. Period.
Let me ask you a question. WrestleMania 16, WrestleMania 17, SummerSlam 2000 and 2000, right? What was the match of the night?
WrestleMania 2000.
I'm just saying, WrestleMania 2000, SummerSlam 2000, and WrestleMania 17. What was the match of the night?
Oh, that's easy.
Go ahead.
WrestleMania 2000 was the tag team ladder match.
It was the ladder match, right? And that's why everybody talk about the Hardys and Dudleys and Edge and Christian.
TLC.
It was something we never seen before.
But the main events was Rock and Austin, right?
That fatal four-way.
That fatal four-way was one of the worst in history.
Triple threat match. It doesn't matter because those were your main events. Everybody knows what one of the most talked about matches were. I will give you that. I always talk about New Day Usos all the time. I'm bringing it up, and I say, hey, they've never had a bad match. These are two teams that I see wrestle more times than I ever want to. I don't even like seeing some people wrestle twice, but I've seen them wrestle. In 2017, I think they wrestled like 6 pay-per-views. But I've never complained because they never had they wrestled last year, I think, when the Usos were about to beat the record, right?
Yeah.
Match was fire. They never have a bad match. Their Hell in the Cell match was my favorite one.
They cook.
Listen.
But it's not going to main event.
The bottom line here is give me your final grades before we get up out of here. For Day of Champions. Afternoon of Champions. It definitely wasn't Night of Champions, at least here in America, where it counts. I thought it was a pretty good solid. I thought it was a good solid show. I know I like to give belt grades. I would give it 4 out of 5 Gunther title reigns. Very impactful, right? Very impactful, and still moving the storyline. So I thought 4 out of 5 current Intercontinental Gunther title runs. Dice.
I'm going to give it 4.5 out of 5. First WWE Bobby Lashley title reigns. I thought it was good for what it was supposed to be. Oh my God, here we go.
I don't know if he's laughing at you or somebody wrote something, but go ahead.
Here we go. It did what it was supposed to do for all storylines going across the board, right? Like and all you want to do for you want to do something for Saudi Arabia and give them a banger of a show. They did that without making it like a superstar showdown or whatever that goofy ish was that they had, where it's just matchups just for the sake of having star power. These matches meant something outside of Natty and Rhea, but everything else meant something. I didn't think there was a bad match except for that match, but other than that, I enjoyed myself. I actually paid attention the whole 3 hours. It was fine for me. 4 out of 5 Bobby Lashley WWE title reigns.
What's your guys' executive consultant?
Who's in AEW? Dice, help me out. Who is the one of the guys in Jericho Appreciation Society? The one that won the Ring of Honor. Was it Pride Championship or something?
Daniel Garcia.
Okay, all right, cool.
I'm shocked.
Don't put that picture up.
Don't put that picture up.
I'm not gonna put the picture.
He gives a 1 out of Daniel Garcia title reigns.
I mean, the way y'all rank stuff is a little confusing to me sometimes.
Well, it's not confusing if you know where it comes from. So don't say
I got you.
if
I don't know where it's coming from, so I'm about to make fun of it. So look, I'm not
going to make fun of it. You name it off of a title that makes it make sense with this.
Daniel Garcia championship run. I give it a 5 out of 5. Daniel Garcia championship run.
There it is. Thank you. Grand Poobah, you could just give your own regular ranking, but go ahead, Grand Poobah.
So I like this ranking.
Hey, crazy!
I really enjoyed this paper. Yes, later tonight there will
I'm gonna
be.
say now. Ain't they dumb putting that on the same time as AEW?
Right after.
Very much so.
That is a dumb thing to do to put that pay-per-view on the same time as AEW.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm just gonna just say my grade, so I can get the hell out of here. I have chicken breast waiting for me. You talked about title things, so I'm just gonna say I got real pay-per-view. So I'm gonna sit here and say this pay-per-view was better than Goldberg's first WCW World Heavyweight Championship run.
What did Goldberg do to you?
I was to continue.
What? You're muted.
How, Mike? What the hell?
What did Goldberg do? I need to know. Like, you have this personal beef
because he ruined Bret Hart's career.
His career was over with anyway.
It was not over with.
It was over with. It was over with. I said I didn't say
for
overrated.
Like 3 more years. You say this for like 3 more years. So you have a problem with that?
It was over with.
He
put him out of his misery. It was over with.
I can't. I'm saying it right here on air. I can never work with Z again. I used to work with anyone with just one letter. It's over here. I thought we could form a tag team.
So you can't work with Steve anymore. So I'm canceling UPR battles because you can't work with Steve anymore, right? You can't.
No. I have to get my win back. And cheap price is gonna have UPR battles.
Megatron versus Mickey Mouse.
It's gonna be Mickey.
What?
It's Mickey. But if you go on Instagram right now, you can vote. It's between Roger Rabbit's Pikachu and Megatron.
It better be Roger Rabbit.
Okay. Mike,
wrap it up. Listen, guys, thank you guys for all being a part of the show. Listen, comment below, let us know. Like, follow, and subscribe to Unpopular Review. There will be no Mike Knoxxx show tomorrow, but there might be I don't know, 4 pillars. I don't know. We're talking about there
is going to be an NXT review show. When is it happening, Grand Poobah?
It's happening right after NXT, and we should be on. I'm going to talk and make sure I got a co-host for it, and we have a special treat for you guys. So,
and AEW Double or Nothing review show will be tomorrow at 6:00 p.m. instead of Mike Knoxxx show. So tune in for that one. Go ahead, Mike.
There it is. Do not wake up tomorrow morning and say to yourself, "I love me some meat," and don't love God. We are out of here, y'all. Fingers.